DJI Osmo Pocket 4 is rumored to have a next-generation 1-inch CMOS sensor with variable aperture. While the previous model also had a 1-inch sensor, this new version is expected to be a newer 50-megapixel chip, likely providing much better dynamic range and clearer details. This matters because it gives you more flexibility when you are editing. You can pull more detail out of shadows and keep highlights from blowing out, which is often a struggle with smaller cameras. One of the most interesting developments is the potential introduction of a variable aperture. If these reports hold true, it would be a massive deal for anyone who shoots outdoors. Usually, with small cameras, you are stuck with a fixed aperture, which means in bright sunlight, you have to crank up your shutter speed to keep the footage from being overexposed. That ruins natural motion blur, making video look jittery. A variable aperture would allow you to physically close down the lens to let in less light, keeping your shutter speed where it needs to be for that smooth cinematic look without constantly fumbling for ND filters. It is a feature we typically see on high-end drones or professional cameras, so bringing it to something that fits in your pocket is a game changer. Moving on to the video capabilities, the specs are looking incredibly robust for content creators who need versatility. The headline feature everyone is talking about is the ability to shoot in 6K resolution. Now, you might be thinking, who actually needs 6K? And for delivery, you are right. Most of us still export in 4K or even 1800p. But for a creator, shooting in 6K is all about freedom in post-production. It gives you extra room to crop into your shot without losing quality. Imagine you are vlogging and you want to punch in on your face for emphasis, or maybe you filmed something a bit wide and want to reframe it to look perfect. With a 6K source file, you can crop down to a 4K frame and it still looks razor sharp. It saves you from having to carry a second camera just to get a tight shot. Slow motion is another area where the Pocket 4 seems to be pushing boundaries. We are expecting to see 4K recording at 120 frames per second, which has become the gold standard for high-quality slow motion. This lets you slow down action by 4 or 5 times, making everything look dreamy and smooth, perfect for B-roll of coffee being poured, waves hitting the beach, or just cinematic walking shots. Some rumors even hint at 4K at 240 frames per second, which would be wild for a device this size, putting it in direct competition with dedicated action cameras for capturing fast-paced sports or movement. Combined with the rumored 10-bit color profiles like D-Log-M, you are looking at footage that can stand up alongside much bigger, more expensive cinema cameras. The lens system itself is another major topic of conversation. For the first time, we are hearing strong whispers about a dual-lens configuration on a Pro version of the device. This would solve one of the biggest frustrations with pocket cameras. Typically, if you want to get closer to a subject, you have to digitally zoom in, which just degrades your image and makes it look pixelated. A second lens, likely a telephoto option around 70mm, would allow you to punch in optically. This is huge for getting those compressed, portrait-style shots where the background looks blurry and close to the subject. It creates a much more professional look than the wide-angle aesthetic we are used to from vlogging cameras. Being able to switch between a wide view for talking to the camera and a tighter view for showing details would make this a complete storytelling tool in a way previous models weren't. Let's talk about stabilization, because that is the whole reason this product exists. DJI has always been the king of gimbals, and the Pocket 4 is expected to feature Active Track 7.0. The current tracking is already good, but the new version is rumored to use data from the dual lens system to understand depth better. This means it shouldn't get confused as easily if your subject turns around or briefly walks behind a tree. For solo creators who film themselves, this reliability is everything. You want to be able to set the camera down, Draw a box around yourself on the screen and trust that it will keep you in focus and in frame while you move around. The updated algorithms are also supposed to be smoother, mimicking the way a professional cameraman would pan and tilt, rather than the robotic, jerky movements you sometimes get with older automated tracking. Audio is another critical piece of the puzzle that often gets overlooked, but bad audio ruins a video faster than bad video does. The Pocket 4 is rumored to come with an upgraded 4-microphone array. The goal here is better spatial audio and, more importantly, improved wind noise reduction. If you are vlogging outside, wind is your worst enemy. While dedicated wireless mics are always better, having a usable internal microphone system is fantastic for those spontaneous moments when you don't have time to rig up extra gear. Speaking of gear, the connectivity ecosystem is also getting a boost. There is talk of seamless integration with the DJI Mic 2, possibly even allowing 2 transmitters to connect directly to the camera without a receiver, which would keep your setup incredibly small and clean. Battery life is always a concern with small devices, but the leaks here are promising as well. We are looking at a battery capacity increase of around 20%. It doesn't sound like a massive number, but in real-world use, that extra juice can be the difference between finishing your vlog and having the camera die right before the sunset. Combined with a more efficient processor, we could be seeing over 2 hours of continuous 4K recording. That is impressive for something so small. Fast charging is also expected to be standard, meaning you can top it up quickly with a power bank in between shots. For travel vloggers who are out exploring all day, this efficiency is key. You don't want to be tethered to a wall outlet or carrying 5 spare batteries if you don't have to. The physical design is also getting some thoughtful tweaks. The screen on the previous model was a huge hit because it could rotate, and that feature is definitely staying. However, rumors suggest the screen might be slightly brighter and more responsive, making it easier to see in direct sunlight. The overall ergonomics are likely remaining similar, that comfortable pistol grip shape that fits so well in the hand, but with slightly refined materials for better grip. There is also chatter about a new frame tap accessory or feature, which could be a way to quickly center or control the camera without having to fiddle with the tiny touchscreen, making one-handed operation even smoother.